So I'm starting recording, and people told me that I should say the same after starting the recording. So we would like to record this part for dissemination purposes, and if no one is against it, we will do it, and we will use mainly the parts that we will be talking to you. So thank you. So, and I'm Lima from the University of Minho. Diana, go on.
Thank you, Rui. So, first of all, thank you so much for being here with us today. It's a pleasure for us to have this opportunity to share our work about PBL with you. And it's really nice to see some familiar faces as well in the audience. Thank you. My name is Diana Mesquita. I'm not in the Arqus Alliance, but because I'm working in another university at Universidade Católica Portuguesa, at the Faculty of Education and Psychology. So my background is in education. I've been working in research in higher education for almost 18 years, more or less. And my work is basically with teacher training, professional development, pedagogical innovation, active learning. That's why myself and Rui, we have been working together recently in this project that we are going to mention a little bit further. So a warm welcome to all of you, and let's start. You are mute.
We are very happy to have you all here. It was really incredible for us, the people that joined. And we would like to start by understanding who is here and giving you also the opportunity to show us a little bit of each of you. And so we will start by, if this works, okay, ask you to say to us from what country do you come. So I think we will have the opportunity to put you to interact with each other. I'm sure we will have, and you will have the opportunity to understand where people come, from where people come, from which institutions. Okay. Diana, you want to?
Yes, can you move forward?
Yeah.
So today we are going to focus on project-based learning, and we would like to now to have your perspective about where do you stand regarding to PBL. If you are starting first steps in PBL, so if you are somehow an explorer starting to explore PBL is the option that you have there in the middle. If you are enthusiastic, you are already implementing PBL into practice on your left option on your left. And then if you stand for as an expert, if you are in fact, if you somehow you already developed and have experience on PBL, do research on that. So we would like to have an overview about the profiles that we have today. Okay, so we have some explorers, some enthusiasts. Maybe let's go further.
Yeah, do you want to start again, sharing?
Yes, sure. Are you seeing my screen? Yeah, good.
Yeah. We have someone in the audience that said, want to learn something new.
Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, sure. Feel free to use the chat as well. Wait, would you like to?
Sorry. So this is about the Arqus Alliance. So I've told that this is an activity from work package or work group 5 that's about teaching innovation. And we have institutions from Portugal, University of Minho, Spain, University of Granada, Lyon from France, Padova from Italy, Graz from Austria, Leipzig from Germany, Wrocław from Poland, Vilnius from Lithuania, and Minho from Ireland. And this activity is being developed under the task 5.3. That's mainly about training, and one of the type of training activities that we are developing are online workshops. And this is one of those. So feel free to explore our website later on if you want.
As I said before, we have been working together in this project. This is an Erasmus Plus project called PBL for T. So we have been designing and developing a framework for digital collaborative teacher training. We carried out the first edition this year in February. I'm looking at Raquel. Raquel Faria was one of our participants in that edition. The second edition was in Lithuania, in Vilnius University in May. And now we are preparing the third edition, and it will be also the final one at the University of Minho, Braga in January 2025. So this is what we are doing today is part of also one of the work packages that we have regarding to online workshops. And in somehow we use one of the modules that we have in this training, which we are talking about a 20 hours training. So it is about 2 days and a half. And we somehow focus on a specific topic. And in this case, we are talking about and working, because we are not just talking, we are going to work on project-based learning. So this is going to be the outline for the session. We are already launched the session with this brief introduction, and the core of the session is going to be a simulation about what project-based learning is. So we are trying to simulate an environment of project-based learning based on the main principles, trying to specify and some typologies of projects that we have. And later on, we are going to put that into practice. So these are going to be the main output of the session. We are going to work in groups, project teams, and we are going to, at the end of the session, we are going to deliver a proposal of the project to be somehow related with the students' profile. So let's start.
So when we talk about active learning, and PBL is for sure about active learning, we think about activities or learning experiences that are meaningful. And by meaningful, we mean that students should understand why they are learning something and why they are doing those activities. So it's more than saying to them that it is important, it's trying to make them feel that that is important, that they need to learn something. When we are able to do that, we are really exploring the principles of active learning. In order to do that, we have to create the right context, and those could be really different. Okay, we can do a lot of different approaches when we think about active learning, and we'll talk about that in 1 minute. So that's the main idea: create the right context to make meaningful learning experiences.
One of the symptoms that we identify that we create the right environment, the right context for a meaningful learning is the level of engagement of the students. So in the classroom, we see students engaged in one activity, for example, that we are carrying out. We see moments of energy, enthusiasm, and this is one where we know that the approach is working. And then the final ingredient that we have here, or principles, is based on critical thinking. So it's important to put students to reflect about their own learning, why they are learning, what they are learning, and with whom. That is also important to somehow to for the students to understand that kind of experience are meaningful. I need this contact. I need this kind of competences because of that, and this kind of insight that students have during the process is part of what active learning means.
We leave some references in some of the slides so that you can explore further some of these ideas. And when we think about the ways we can implement active learning, we usually show this in a continuum, and these different continuums would be related to active learning, but this is about the autonomy of the student. When we are in the left side of the continuum, we are in, like, when we are in big classes, in auditoriums, we can have small activities. We sometimes call these the short-term activity or short activities. Diana, you changed my slide. I don't know if you are able. Okay, thanks.
Sorry.
And some of these activities are quizzes or think per share or 1 or 2 minute papers. Okay, these are really short activities that we can implement without so much preparation. Okay, in advance. And when we are in the right side of the continuum, we are thinking about problems as a central part of the discipline, like problem and project-based learning, challenge-based learning, service-based learning, research-based learning. So all type of approaches that are related with the problem as a central part of the course. In the middle, okay, we have different types of activities with different levels of collaboration and structure that we can implement. And if we think about problem and project-based learning, or if we think about project-based learning, the central part or the starting point for a project-based learning approach is the problem. So it is a problem-based approach. Okay? And we can talk about this later. Okay, we have another slide about that. But we want a problem, or we challenge our students to solve a problem. That problem should have a real world context. Sometimes it is a real problem, like in a company or in an organization or from the society. In other times, it is a realistic problem. Like it is something that we prepare so that we can manage in the lab or in the classroom. Okay? But it should be related with their profession. With the project-based learning approach, we expect a complete result at the end of the project. It is usually, or it should be interdisciplinary, because problems are not discipline. They are not inside our courses when we have real problems. Okay, they cross the boundaries of the courses, so they are by nature interdisciplinary, and we can explore that opportunity also. I think that, well, this is like my own perspective, but I really enjoy the open-handed part of the problem, because it really gives you the opportunity for the students to explore deeper their own knowledge, their own objectives, and also gives them the opportunity to change a little bit what they are learning and how they are learning. Okay, give them some flexibility on the process. It is teamwork. It is based on teamwork almost all of the times when you are talking about PBL, because that is a way of improving the learning process, because students learn better with their peers usually. Okay, and that is also the process that is explored in other parts of active learning, of course, and typically it is long-lasting. And with this, we mean that it is half of semester, 1 year, but of course that we can have different ways of implementing. Okay, But this usually is one of the things that we want in project-based learning, because students will have interpersonal competencies that they will be developing during the project, and also project management competencies, conflict management, etc.
Any questions or doubts? Feel free to put in the chat or open your micro. No? Okay. Now we are going to talk a little bit about how to put these principles into practice. So we have different ways of doing PBL in terms of curricular organization. And we can identify these four main typologies. The first one, as you can see here on the top, we called an exercise of project, in which, if you imagine that these walls are the courses, we do a project exercise when we ask students to develop a project inside of our own course. Okay, so this course, in this example, challenge the students to develop a project, and this course as well. So this is much more with less level of interdisciplinary, okay, approach, because it's focused on the content of our course. Another typology is the project course, in which the whole course is project oriented. This is quite common, for example, in the last years of the programs. Sometimes this some specific areas, this is quite common. And in engineering, for example, I'm looking here for at Rui, is this kind of courses, the nature of these projects are quite common in engineering, but as well, for instance, in education or in teaching programs, we have as well the seminars or supervision, in which the students need to develop a specific project in the context of that course. Then we have here a completely different approach, in which we don't have courses. The curriculum is not organized by courses, but the whole curriculum is a project. So this is quite a disruptive approach in terms of curriculum, in terms of pedagogical model. We can identify these models, for instance, in our university. For those that don't know, Aalborg University is a university in which the pedagogical model for all areas, for all programs, are in problem and project-based learning. So they don't have specific, the common is not to have courses just like that, like really break the knowledge into parts. No, the idea is to integrate the knowledge, in students learn doing projects from at least 75% of their time during the semester is working in projects. And then we have here one interdisciplinary approach, here to close, in which we can develop a project. Somehow we reorganize the project course, in which the students develop also and include and integrate the content on that semester, that we have the courses to support also the project, not only the project course, but also the other courses of the semester are oriented to the project. So we are going to illustrate this a little bit better later on, because this, of course, this typology is much more challenging to take into practice, because teachers need to work together as well. So this is one of the main challenges. When we are here in a project exercise or in a project work, sometimes we have 1-2 teachers engaged in the project, which is not the same as we have here in interdisciplinary projects. Okay. Questions? Okay. So for the purpose of this workshop, we are going to focus on this typology, okay? Because it's more challenging, because here we are many teachers from different universities, from different areas, from different countries. So our idea is to understand how can we plan interdisciplinary projects in order to integrate the knowledge and the competences that students need to develop. Wait, do you want to go further? Yeah.
So I have shared a link for attendance registration. Sorry, for registering the people that are participating in this workshop, so that we can send some certificates after the workshop. Okay? So it's similar to the other one. I just made a copy, but it's without any answers now. So please answer now so that you can register your participation. So regarding the project topology, so we are going to explore the interdisciplinary project model. And what we intend to do during the remaining of the session is challenging you to develop a proposal for students. You could imagine this would be a simulation. You could imagine this, that we are asking you to create a plan for the project approaches that you will implement next semester. Okay? That could be the idea. And the first thing that we would like to ask you is, and it will be an open question, I hope that you are that you would like to answer. What are the things that we have to prepare to create that plan? So what do we have to think about before we start the project, so that at the first day of the project, we are able to start and tell and show to our students what they will do. So what kind of things we should prepare in advance? So this is the question. And this is an open, please feel free to talk with us now, with your colleagues. Diana, you are showing the answers. So my question was clear? Yeah? Okay, Belen Quadra she said, learning goals. Yeah, I agree. So as in any other approach, we should prepare the learning goals for the project that we will be developing. Yeah? So that is, in fact, one of the things that you should prepare. Something else that you would like to suggest?
You can add in the boards as well. I think you are able, yes, you are able to edit as well, so you can include your contributions. Or you can share in chat and I write, that's okay.
We have a line now.
I think we are.
People is trying the board.
Yeah, the board. The Zoom improved a lot. The board is quite similar to what we have in the Jamboard of the Google. That is not available anymore. So I think it's a really good option. So
we have another. Oh, someone is repeating learning goals.
you can.
Okay, the question, I will repeat, and Diana, please help me if I'm not clear. So we are asking, what should we prepare in advance before starting our project. So if you will start your project next semester, what should you prepare beforehand? What kind of things? So learning goals will be, learning outcomes, okay,
Mhm.
for sure.
What do we need to take into account
Very great. So what problems
exists?
in our area, maybe? Yeah, okay. So we should define the problem for our students. I think that's the idea. And for that, we can start by exploring or looking for different types of projects for our own course or for our semester, maybe thinking about joining with other course. Okay, yeah, thank you.
Resources.
Plan,
Yeah,
yeah, great.
trying to create clusters as well. Structure and resources. Well done.
We have also
Problem
plan tasks and timelines. Great.
according to the skills expected.
Great. So we should think about what kind of things we expect them to be developing during the project or learning or searching or researching. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Okay. Rules.
Skills.
Division of the roles, I suppose, inside of the teams. Well done.
Okay.
The problems, I'm going to put here nearby the learning goals because we are going to see that is quite connected, the problem with the learning goals. Okay. How we
Think of
ways of
go on here.
contacting with knowledge. Okay. Prepare students. Is quite important. How we prepare students for PBL or active learning in general. Yeah.
Make sure to define clear objectives. Great.
Yeah, it's a way also that we have to prepare students is to make it clear. Okay. Okay, we have a lot of
Yeah.
I'm
I think
going to save.
the idea is this, okay? This is a good exercise for us to think about what we should do with our coordination team, as an example, okay?
Okay, assessment and feedback here.
Great, great.
Yeah. Prior knowledge here. I'm seeing someone writing about that.
Oh,
Great.
anticipate challenges, yes, like risks that we may
Scheduling.
have. Okay. So, this is great. Tiana, what do you think? Should we
Just
go
let
on?
me, yeah, I'm trying to let me save this, okay?
I think we'll use some of these ideas.
Later on. Okay, let me just back to our
Okay, we have a slide prepared for this question. Okay. And so what are the requirements for PBL organization? And mainly this was our question, okay, to you, and you were giving your answers for this. We put here some of these are different from what you have written. Some are more or less the same, okay. But one of the things that we have to think about is what will be the teachers that will be involved in this project approach. Are we doing it by ourselves or will we have the opportunity to interact with the others? And if you have the opportunity to interact with the others, I think you should do it for sure. Okay, explore that idea because it may be hard at some point, but it will be really great to do that. Okay, we should think about student teams. How many students per team? Where are they coming from? What's their prior knowledge? Okay, things like that. And also, of course, thinking about preparing them maybe during the first week or first and second week. Okay, talking about PBL and what we expect from them. the curricular context. So, are we going to do this in one specific semester? How many courses will be involved, or will be this like a project transversing or through different semesters? Okay. What are the expected results to be delivered by the students? Okay, this is really important because sometimes we have a great goal, but we don't think so much on what they will be delivering. If they are, as an example, if they are creating a machine in engineering, in mechanical engineering, as an example, or if they are creating a report on some other areas. Okay, and what will be the deliverables during the process. This is quite important in the PBL approach, is that we have different deliverables during the process. Don't do it just with one deliverable at the end. Okay? Do it along the process, and we can talk a little bit about that.
So the challenge for today, and we are going to start right away. We are going to simulate project-based learning. We are going to create teams randomly, and we have here three deliverables. As we say, it's quite important to have deliverables over the semester. Here is going to be in the next hour, so it's going to be really intense. And the idea is that these three deliverables will help you to create this PBL proposal. Of course, that in 1 hour you don't have time to detail the information. And these kind of requirements that in the list before you identified with us, for example, about the assessment. Of course, we don't have time to detail it, but the idea is to give you the experience to have how PBL works in practice. Okay. So the idea is we are going to launch the three deliverables, give you an overview about that, and we are going to in teams to the breakout rooms, and then we come back, we launch the second deliverable, and again, and we are going back and forth in the next hour. Okay, so we are going to close after that with the presentations in 3 minutes. Is the last deliverable about the proposal. Okay, this seems a lot, but you will see that it's feasible. Okay, so looking at the PBL phases, just to give you an overview, we are, of course, here we have the teams here we have the beginning of the semester. Okay. And we start with the first deliverable in a short time. Then we have the execution or the development phase with the milestones during the semester. And here we have the final deliverables of the project at the end of the semester with the assessment and so on. So where this simulation that we are going to conduct is in this phase of setup. Okay, we are working here in the planning of the project that is going to be presented to the students in this very beginning, in the kickoff of the project. Okay, we used to present or to summarize the proposal in what we called the project guide to present to the students. So imagine that this is the first meeting that you are going to have with the team of teachers that you are working together in that semester, and you are going to be able to start preparing and set up the project, the purchase. Questions? Doubts? No? Okay, let's do this. Let's start with first cycle. Oui.
Okay. So the first cycle will be 15 minutes. You may not need so much time. It depends, okay, on the discussion inside the groups. But as you don't know at the beginning, you may have the need to talk a little bit. So, but please try to stick to the time that we are giving, and think this as the first deliverable that you are asking to your students. You ask them to deliver at I don't know, September 28th, and they will have to deliver on that time. So we are asking you to deliver in 15 minutes after starting, okay? And what we will ask you is to define one problem. You may have one or two problems, okay? You can change it later during the session. So it's not that you are sticking with this for the remaining of the session, okay? You may change a little bit, but the idea is to make a proposal integrating 2 to 4 courses. Okay, that will be the idea. It will help if you think about one of the courses as leading, or 1 or 2 courses leading the main project work. That theme should be related to the SDGs, Sustainability Development Goals. And please think about what will be the concrete result that you want your students to develop during the semester. Okay? So at this moment, you will discuss among the team, between yourselves, an idea of a theme or problem that your students should be dealing with during the semester. Okay? This is the main idea. Please, if you want to keep this information, take a picture or a print screen so that you can discuss.
Yeah, in the first minutes, I will share in the breakout rooms this
okay, great.
this slide. Okay, no worries.
So we are working in teams also in India. So I will open breakout rooms. I will create 5 randomly assigned breakout rooms. So take 1 or 2 minutes to say your name and where you come from, maybe your area, okay? And after that, discuss what you would like your students to develop, okay? Or take 1 or 2, 3 courses maybe at the most. So I'm opening the breakout rooms now, okay? So it will be 5 breakout rooms, and the main idea at the end of 15 minutes that you have 1 or 2 or 3 themes that you would like to explore with your students. Okay, opening.
Just to know that which team or teams, if you don't decide yet, is going to focus your project. Only the big topic, the big theme of the project. Room 1, we should define a speaker in advance. In room 1, Belén, Carlos, Celia, Inês, Pedro, Tiona.
We didn't decide who will speak, so maybe
Go
Belén
for it. You can be you, Carlos, no worry.
We didn't have enough time to really get into the details, but one possible theme that we thought of, considering the different profiles of the people in the group, was to create an application, a multilingual application, to promote tourism related with nature, like including in the application different like species of trees or plants or animals that can help tourists to know the nature environment of a place and not only cultural or heritage sites. We didn't get into details and we're not sure. Actually, we think it can be related to different goals. of the sustainable development. We thought maybe quality of education,
Yes.
life on land, and there was another one, I'm not sure. Decent, goal 8, decent work and economic growth.
Yeah, sounds good. Well done. Don't worry. Remember what I said before. You will don't have time for details. So it's completely fine. Okay, but here we have a big topic, an interdisciplinary approach, and a concrete result, which is the app.
Let me just say that I will
So
try to
completely.
sorry. I will try to resume the theme in my own words, okay? But feel free to change it. It's just that I'm hearing and trying to write it. Okay? So I have put it on the chat.
Okay, thank you so much, Team 1. Let's go to Team 2, room 2. Cristina, Fernanda, Mario, Hassa, and Sara. Anyone?
Okay.
Although you can talk. Yes.
Fernanda, can you share?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you already have. Okay. So can you sum up very quickly the problem or
Yes, Fernanda,
the
should
topic?
I go ahead or should I go?
Yes, Sarah, please.
Okay, so this is the definition of our problem. We think that the population aging is creating profound challenges across personal, social, family, and societal dimensions, and that this shift places increasing pressure on healthcare systems, social structures, and also in intergenerational relationships, while simultaneously exposing older adults to systemic discrimination such as ageism. And addressing these issues requires a deeper understanding of their applications and the development of effective strategies to mitigate biases and ensure the inclusion and well-being of aging populations. So this is aligned with the ODS 3, ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. And we think that we can integrate the courses of gerontology, education, and design.
Thank you, Sarah. Who sum up the topic of your project in the chat? And I think it's important to have, and this is for all the groups, and when we plan about active learning, project-based learning, sorry, which is to have a title, catchy, to get a sense about what the problem is going to be. And for the students, this is really important to have the title, because it's a way of passing the message about what the problem, the description of the problem is. So, well done. Thank you. Room 3, Carlos, Ezoli, Marika, Papuna, Raquel, and Rui. Anyone would like to? Raquel, go for it.
I can do
I
it.
saw
So,
you open the micro, so go for it.
so we were thinking it's still ongoing. It's still developing. So we're thinking about something, health autonomous assistant for remote areas, because we have 3 different engineering, like mechanical, electrical, and materials. And then we have people from pharmacy, medicine, and veterinary. So we were thinking about developing some autonomous car or like a rover or something that go to remote areas, try to provide some help regarding like the pharmacy and all the medicines, and try to help people with like telemedicine or veterinary, something like that. We have people from the energy area, so make it autonomous, like with no people, and try to build something for have his own energy, and like the mobile net, like Wi-Fi or something like that. So that was the idea. And regarding the SDGs, so we have good health and well-being, affordable and clean energy, and reduce inequality. You have no sound, Diana.
So sorry. Thank you. I was saying that it's really good to have to foresee the final result, to have a concrete product like a rover and things like that. It seems like attractive for engineering students as well. Thank you. So room 4, Claycy, João, Jorge, Luís e Manuela. Anyone?
Okay, maybe I can
Sure.
talk.
Thank you.
It will be about therapy monitoring of patients with some special needs, meaning that we have some patients need to have some medicine regularly, and we could monitor if they are taking correctly this medicine. So we are mixing things like, of course, computer science and also pharmacy and management to guarantee there is always this medicine is available, and maybe some embedded system electronics to, if they have some, for example, to inject this medicine, and that's it.
Okay, good. I think it was a really, I think it's a really good example in which the knowledge interconnect to each other instead of being so different. In fact, we have common points in knowledge. That's why it's so important to have projects that shows that, and that your project is really a good example of that. Thank you so much, João, and to group 4. And finally, room 5, team 5, Ana, Filipa, Julia, Maria José, Miriam, and Rita.
Hi, hello. Our theme, our idea is to develop a mobile or web application to access and promote health information and healthy habits through gaming experience, such as diary goals, how many steps you have completed, or how many times you wash your hands during the day. And that goes into the 3 sustainable development goals. Number 3, which is good health and well-being. Number 4, quality education. And number 6, which is clean water and sanitation. Since our areas are related with medicine, informatic engineering, so we try to relate these to areas, and we can be promoted into courses.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So here we have another app as the final result of the project, which is really interesting as well. So
sorry, Diana, just
yes?
saying the target is teenagers and elderly people.
Okay. You mean the target group of the users of the app?
Yes.
Okay, good. I think it's a good requirement in terms of to design the app brings much more challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really well done. So let's so we have the first deliverable. Let's go further to the next one. Okay.
So we usually do this. We try to define the first deliverable shorter than the next ones, so that the teams can really engage in the project as fast as possible. Okay. For the second deliverable, we'll give 20 minutes, and we would like you to write the theme and problem that you already defined. Define it maybe a little bit better if you need, and then what is the curricular context? What are the courses that will be involved together? And if it is in one specific degree, or if you are using different degree programs, okay? And what will be the deliverables during the project? Okay, so these are some ideas that we are proposing you to develop during this next phase. This phase is for the implementation proposal. Okay? That could be the name of the phase. We will give after this, okay, after ending this phase, you have to make a 3-minute pitch about this proposal, okay? In small groups also. We cannot do it in the plenary session. We won't have time. So we'll also divide you in groups, in 2 presentations per group. So Diana, can you go one further? Before we open the rooms, we have prepared a folder in the Google Drive where you can get some PowerPoints that we would like you to use. Okay, there are 4 slides, 3 or 4 slides. Okay, just to create the main topics for each part of what will be the theme problem that you defined, what is the curriculum framework, degree program, the courses, the main competencies maybe. Okay, don't be too detailed, please, because you won't have time. Okay, what is the expected end result, and what will be the deliverables, and maybe assessment. Okay, so do this in a not too detailed way, okay? Otherwise, you won't have time, of course. Okay, we are asking for a simulation of the process.
Remember, sorry, just to interrupt. Remember that this is only the first meeting of the team of teachers. So imagine that you are going to have further meetings after, and you are going to detail these 4 dimensions. So just to provide the first brainstorming about these 4 dimensions, it's a good way to as an outcome for a first meeting of the coordinating team of the project. Okay.
So we will open now the rooms. So
did you share the link, Rui? Sorry to.
Not yet. Sorry.
Yes, Sarah.
Okay. Well,
Sorry, Diana. This is just a question related with the formulation, the description of the problem. Can it be posed as a question, or should?
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely. You could have, as your group did really well, to have a description, to have this background considering SDGs and so on, and the result. But it's good to have like a title catchy in a question to be provocative, because students, it's much more enlightening for the students to have that kind of sense, so could be a question for sure. Yeah.
great, thank you.
So in the chat, you have the template with these 4 dimensions, and we are going to open the rooms, right?
Okay, right now. See you in a few minutes.
Any question, please let us know.
It says it's impossible to download the file on the folder. I can open it online, but I cannot download it.
Don't know why. Can you edit online?
No, it opens. I can edit.
You can or cannot? I didn't understand.
I cannot.
Cannot. Okay.
Did you share the folder with the editable?
But I get it.
Eu coloquei um aqui no chat, que foi o primeiro de todos da listagem.
Eu consegui também, Raquel.
Raquel, vê lá se consegues descarregar. Aqui do chat.
Obrigada. Então deve ser eu.
Eu também consegui.
Aqui consigo. Na página é que não. Mas pronto, está aqui, eu percebo. Obrigada.
Pronto, obrigado. So we have now Raquel. Raquel tem acesso já à sala?
É a sala 3, não é? Vou tentar entrar.
Isso, ok. Maria, tem preferência? Viu vários temas, agora tem essa possibilidade. Como ainda não tinha entrado, eu posso associá-la a qualquer um dos temas.
Eles vão trabalhar um tema novo?
Não,
Não.
é aquele tema,
o
mas
Minho.
agora vão
Ok.
desenvolver a
Só outra
ideia
coisa.
para o projeto. Ou
Se calhar
seja,
tem
um,
multilingual.
Uhum.
ok, tá.
Boa.
Vou atribuir
Até já.
logo ao grupo 1,
Até
então,
já.
até já.
Obrigada, Maria. Rui, quanto
Yul,
tempo?
Yulia,
Ah.
are you able to join the teams? If you have some problem, please let us know.
Quanto tempo é que tu disseste?
I know that some of you already have had to leave, but I will try to close as fast as I can. And after the session, we will send material, and you can reach us. Okay, I will have time to talk with you if you want to stay. Okay, more time. Just 1 second. So you have created like in a really intensive process, short time proposal, but of course that we need more time to create a really robust proposal that our students will be able to develop. I'm just sharing something that we do at University of Minho in our program, Industrial Engineering and Management. In fact, this project is happening in the first year of the master at this moment. It is right now going on. Okay? I'm in the middle of the process, a little bit more of the middle. And it is a 15-week project. We have this year 60 students. We usually try to create teams of 7, but sometimes we go up to teams of 9. We have a coordination team with teachers and supervisors of the project, shared project spaces, so we have rooms of the university, and we have weekly visits to the companies. So in fact, this project is with companies, and we have students must analyze the production system and create proposals for the improvement of production systems of those companies. And in the boundaries of the project are set by the courses. So the course contents and competences that we need them to develop are in fact the way we create the boundaries of the project. As an example, they must use lean manufacturing content or business process modeling and notation specific languages. So these are things that come from the courses, and they will be applying those things to make the analysis and to make the proposals of improvement for the production system. And we have other courses of the semester that are not integrated in the project. Okay? One of the questions that we usually have, and people have doubts about this, what are the differences between problem and project-based learning? In fact, they are, I would say, two coins of the same type of approach. But usually with problem-based learning, we focus the learning process on the problem analysis. And with project-based learning, we have the problem analysis also, but we go further to the problem-solving process, creating solutions to the problem. This will be the main way of make a distinction between both approaches. And usually, or most of the times, the problem-based learning approaches are shorter in time and project-based learning are longer, but this may depend on the specific way we implement it, of course. But this is a good way, okay, by Colmos and the graph, to make a distinction between the problem-based learning and project-based learning approaches. Another question that we usually struggle with during the process as teachers is the facilitation process. How can we support the teams? You can see there a picture of myself. I was meeting with a team of students, okay, in our own here at University of Minho, and during this process, we go through different things that can happen. But I can say that creating an environment of trust and empowering the students may be our main goal during the facilitation process. We usually have to discuss the objectives, trying to make those clearer, and you cannot believe that when we say one time the objectives, that we write the objectives, okay, they are written somewhere, that is enough. We must be returning to the objectives and discuss several times during the process. Be attentive and show engagement. So ask them what they are in need of. Sit in the chair, okay, with them, and try to analyze with them and really try to understand what are their problems. Don't give them the solutions, okay, but you also, or we as teachers, we also need to engage in the problem, really trying to understand it, okay, and use a lot of questions, okay, open and closed questions depending on the specific moment, okay, and give feedback, what they can improve, how they can do things differently. Additionally, you may have to promote communication between students because maybe they do not know each other, okay, or maybe they have some conflicts during the process. So you may have to do this, and at some points you may need to have one-to-one meetings with some of the students if things are not going very well, okay. So this will be more or less everything that we would like to share with you. You have some references at the end of the presentation. We will send the presentation to all participants, and we will make the video, at least these parts that we were sharing some information, we'll make this available, and hope that you have enjoyed, that you have learned something new, and we will be open to make some conversations if you want, okay? We can stay here and talk a little bit more. I would like to know if you have some questions that you would like to put. I don't know if we have some people that are not from Portugal here now still. Great.
Rui, can I do a question?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Thank you for the session. I would like to ask, which is the main difference between project-based learning and problem-based learning? These two approaches of this pedagogical approach. I would like to, if you could explain the difference between these two of models.
In fact, I talked a little bit about that, but I will come back to what I've said. In fact, they are not, I would say, different in their main principles. Okay, they are the same. In some places, or according to some authors, they don't even use like different words. They say problem and project-based learning. Okay, like in Aalborg, they use this kind of terminology, and usually when we have project, we start with a problem, with an open-ended problem. That's the same for problem-based learning approaches. So in fact, we are talking about the same type of approach. The main difference could be related to the way we organize the process. Okay, problem-based learning approaches are mainly focused on problem analysis, yeah? And project-based learning approaches have, besides or beyond problem analysis, it also have the project development, like trying to create solutions or develop solutions for the problems that students are dealing with. So that's the main difference, I would say.
We can create the prototyping of the project, like our group was an app, and the project will be create the app and try to sell that to someone, okay? And the problem-based learning, we just analyze the problem and take the process, okay? But in the project, we go to the end of the project. We create the prototype. I'm from design, and we create the prototype of the product. And we can show it to the professor or to the company and try to sell it. Okay, or to sell it or to go to an exposition or something like that.
Another, I would say, common differences are, but they are not strict, okay? This could be happening in different ways, but in problem-based learning approach, we usually have 2 to 4 weeks of a problem-based learning approach, and then we may have another problem and go on. In project-based learning approach, usually we need more time to give time for the students to specify the problem at the beginning, understand and specify the problem, and then think about different solutions, and finally to develop those solutions or things like that. So you will have a longer process usually with project-based learning. We could also look to the history. When the term problem-based learning approach, I would say that maybe it was coined by McMaster University in the medicine. And so the main things that they do, they created cases. So in problem-based learning approach, usually we have a longer definition of the problem. Okay, it is like a case, and the students analyze the case, discuss between them, try to understand what they need, what they know, what they would like to know, and they will go searching for the information with teachers or in books or different ways, and then finally they make the diagnosis of the case, for an example. That was the way it started. And in the engineering schools, it started in Hamburg, early 70s, and then in that way, in those cases, in the Hamburg University and the engineering schools, they have the development of the project, creating prototypes or developing solutions, or it could be a report, okay? It will depend on the specific problem, of course.
I have a question. It seems to be mandatory to have students from different courses, but is it mandatory?
No, it is not.
Practice?
Yeah,
Because,
thank you
for
for the
example, if I
question.
want to apply this to my courses, I only have, I was trying to explore how to use this pedagogical methodology, for example, to apply directly in my course where the students are from the same course. But it seems that you are always asking, well, which courses could be involved? Well, but okay, it is not mandatory. It is just a good practice, right? But okay.
I'm coming back to a slide. Okay. We have different typologies of project-based learning approaches, and some of the typologies we have like different courses, and we have projects inside the courses. Okay, so we could do it in this way. One of the problems that we usually come into when we are doing this is that if every courses do a project, students go mad. Maybe with a lot of projects going on, different from each other. Okay? And so we may have a workload problem when we create one project for each course. But of course, we can do this. Okay? So when different courses start developing projects inside their courses, then usually we tend to develop interdisciplinary projects, trying to engage different courses and teachers in the process. So that would be usually what happened. In our case at the University of Minho, we started by trying to do this. Okay? We always try to integrate different courses, or almost always. Okay, it's not completely true. It depends on the program, but at least at the Industrial Engineering Management, we try to do this. But of course, it's harder because you have to talk with other teachers. You have to align objectives with other teachers. And it has some difficulties, additional difficulties.
Okay. So do you know the Daimler Global that was involved? Do you know the Daimler Global program? No. Okay. It was a program.
Yes, I've read something about that sometime, but I don't remember right now.
Oh, but okay. Now I see. Well, probably it is a program that was based in problem-based learning, and well, for sure it was okay. Different students from different courses from different schools. Well, okay, for sure was the more where we have the more diversity with respect to the backgrounds of the students. Well, it was a very interesting experience. Okay.
Okay, so sometimes we have like experiences like that, where we have students coming from different programs, even not they are not from the same program. Okay, so they have really different backgrounds, and that is great when we are able to do that, of course. Okay.
Thank you.
More questions? We had temos aqui, eu não sei se podemos falar em português. We have Mariam there, and Julia, but I'm not sure if they are hearing us. Mas eu queria agradecer muito às pessoas que estão aqui, muitas pessoas do IPC, obrigado pela participação, e por terem vindo de Coimbra virtualmente. E também tivemos algumas pessoas da UBI, eu vi, a Daisy e alguns colegas. Portanto, muito obrigado pela participação e estejam à vontade para nos contactar, ok? Eu acho que vou dar terminado agora.
Obrigada.
Deus, bom dia, obrigada.
Obrigado a todos.
Obrigada,
Thank you very much.
Obrigada.
Bye.
Obrigada, bom dia.
Bom dia, obrigado.